I've got one. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, they got that up and running quickly, didn't they? Cool. So it looks like our friend up at Skypods are ready for the visit. Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, that's cool, man. So. Okay. Yeah, yeah. We got it. We got it. We got it. Right. So, okay, folks, welcome. We look at my new shirts now. How you doing? I don't really need to put that. Oh, might as well do. Got an ice cream down at the beach. How's everybody doing out there? It's only, of course, this is great. Just something to bring you guys and girls especially. So I'm all the way up here in, I guess you could say, this is the Humber Estuary I'm right at here. Now, this is Donna Nook firing range or bombing range, practice bombing range. The flag is flying at full mast, the red flag. I'll show you that in a bit. What I'll show you in a short while is basically along here. I'm not sure if I'm in the right spot, to be perfectly honest with you, purely because you'll see here. This is the range here. Basically, looks like all of the actual pontoons and the like are actually out on the sea. They're floating pontoons. There is a track that runs here. Really? Okay. That's interesting. What's that one? Let me pull that out. Right, what's that like? What's that like? Check, check. 1 2 1 2. It's a little bit peculiar, that is. I think I might know what that is. I need to test this. Just stand by. Jenny, are you there? Okay, well, check the audio. Is it crackling now? No. No, yeah, no. Hello? No, completely gone now. That's a good start, isn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to turn that off. And see whether that is what's made the difference. Oh, for crying out loud, what's going on? Flipping heck, what's that all about? Hello? Right, okay, I just, no. Yeah, no, that all I did was I pulled the mic out. I went to the camera mic. So let me just do this. The mic back on again. I want to check to see whether it's that. Right, what's it like? Sorry? Oh, okay, okay. Right. That's just that little fan heater, that sort of heater, like I need a heater. It's a little cooler fan that I use, but it's cool, it's cool. we'll run with this, like this, that's fine. Just stand by, folks. Stand by with me. Hold it right there. Don't go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fire up the proprietary cooling fan because that's what obviously was. Let's just test it to see whether it actually was that, Jilly. So you're going to get it. I'm firing it up again to see whether it makes the whether it happens again. Right? Okay. Ready? Here we go now. How's that? Is that crackly? Is it all right? Oh, now the. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, right. So I don't know what that was. Who said that? That's not the case, is it? Is that the case? Oh, I didn't know that. Right, okay. Are we there? Are we there yet? Right, we're done. Okay, so the Humber estuary to your left, folks. What? Right, okay, I'm just going to leave it in the flipping cradle now. Okay, now try it. Is it all right now? Okay. Okay, so at least that gives me a hands-free capability. So go to your plane finders, folks, or whatever app it is that you use for to notify you of incoming and outgoing aircraft or aircraft activity. There's a lot of stuff I'm seeing on plane finder here with the roundel signifying obviously the RAF. This is RAF. Donna Noon, isn't it? Is it Donna Noon? I'm sure it's Donna Noon. Hold on a minute. Let me just... Donna Nook, sorry. Yes, RAF Donna Nook. From what I can see, this was a very small airfield, opened long before the war started. But during the war, it was used as a decoy field, which is quite interesting. One of the interesting parts of its history was that it was used as a decoy field with inflatable Blenheims that were parked up along here. If you remember, if you're into your history for the Second World War, they had a lot of decoys all strewn across the whole of the south coast with inflatable ships and barges and this and that and planes. They actually had inflatable squadrons of planes that they dotted around the coastline just to throw the Germans off of their scent. But this was an airfield that was active during the war, and it was actually a. There was another airfield a little bit further up north, which was used as this airfield's decoy field when this opened up, or when the war started. There's nothing left basically here. There's some outbuildings which are quite interesting that you can see dotted around, but there's no sign of the runway per se. If you zoom out on your radars, you'll see places like to my left is Binbrook, which is interesting. Another famous bomber command airfield, and if you actually zoom there, it's not actually in Binbrook. Some of these wartime Second World War bomber airfields were actually named after the most local big town. But basically, getting back to what we're doing here, Donna, Nook, right on the sea here, right on the front, boiling hot, I've got to say. It's absolutely sweltering. Right on the beach, and this is obviously a range. Now let me just show you what I'm talking about. So right over there, depends on which direction they're going to be coming from. It is a suck it and see job, this one, folks, because you just don't know whether or not you're going to get a tremendous amount of activity. There was yesterday apparently, but apparently this week, according to our source, it is exercise low rider. So therefore, I'm imagining that low rider would mean that they're going to be doing low level bombing exercises. So that's what appears to be the outer marker. And then, sorry about that. And then there's your sort of like, inner marker by the looks of it. And I think it's between these 2 points here where they basically are expected to drop the make-believe. Oh. Apparently it's on its way. Oh, Mike, please give me updates because that's what and I'll listen out, of course. Don't know which direction they're going to be coming from or to, but this is the I reckon that between these two marker points here is your hit point or your target area. This is the I think this is the furthest outer marker. I think basically they probably are advised not to drop anything outside of that outer marker. Now, of course, back in the war, back in the old days, they would have utilised this for dropping dummy bombs. Literally big dummy bombs. There's quite a few ranges around the UK. One is down in the Forest of not Forest of Dean, not Ashdown Forest. Okay. Merlin, as in. Okay. But yeah, the new forest. If you look on the if you look on YouTube, sorry, if you look on your satellite, Google Earth, basically, and search New Forest. If you look very closely, you will find a big X or a big cross, big white X or a big white cross. That particular point was used for the testing of the Grand Slam bomb by Barnes-Wallis back in the war after 617. After the dams raid, that was. However, you can see some pretty significant craters down there where they used the bombing range for the 1,000-pounders, the big bombs basically. But here, I think they obviously used to use practice bombs. But here, I think it might be a bit like air-to-air warfare, where they practice and it is all laser It's almost like a game, isn't it? It's almost like a computer game where they fire and there's sensors that basically gauge whether or not they've got a hit or not. And of course, whether they actually drop physical bombs here, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so, because the place would be littered with them, literally. But we'll have to wait and see. Back in the day, if you remember, they used to use sort of like, flour, canisters full of flour, so that they could obviously see where they landed, the hit points. But thanks to Mike, of course. Let's just have a look here. So we can go to, I need to go to community, don't I? Go to there. There we go. Lovely job. Nice clean picture. Dan Waterman, Keith Cornell, Chris Skipaloo, Jazzy John, Bulldog 617. Our aircraft is JNGLY415 on radar, currently chipping them to Coningsby. Bulldog saying apparently that the Merlin, was it Merlin or Ospreys that were on their way? The Merlin, okay. So Merlin is is that not a helicopter of some sort? Bobby Fitzsimmons, views from flight. They do drop practice bombs. View from flight saying, wow, thanks for that. Well, that'll be good to see, won't it? And I can't help but think that based on my position here, and bear in mind, folks, this is my first time here, so give me a bit of a break in terms of my positioning. But I can't help but think that I should be right the way down there. That's a fair old walk all the way down there. But who's to say that we won't sort of like halt proceedings if there's a break in proceedings? If we know that there's a break, then I can break everything down and walk up there. I don't have a problem with it. Andy Jones, good afternoon to you. Daniel Hill, I want to see some explosions as well. I want to see everything blowing up, But the only thing is, just bear in mind, folks, this is a natural wildlife reserve, and a beautiful one at that, has to be said. It's absolutely beautiful around here. Very quiet. As you can see, we do have the WED flag flying. It's MOD building over there. And this, of course, all around here is basically warning everybody. So this, I'm imagining, is the beach here with the tide out. Look at that heat wave, man. Heat haze, that's incredible. So I'd imagine that what, before or after? Shane Gallagher saying that Turkish 777 may drop something. Big slab of ice. Yeah, should be going into Heathrow, isn't it? I've got all the activity coming into Heathrow, haven't I? Right. Hold on a minute. What's this one here? What's that? What's that? Wow. He might drop something. It's a lovely cool breeze, that, I tell you. If you only knew how baking hot it is here, folks. There's a lovely sea breeze that's hitting me at the moment. I don't know what that tower is up there. I don't know what that is off in the distance there. Some kind of tower. There's a boat there. Yeah. I wonder if the MOD use any boats here as sort of like mobile stations while they're out on the water, just keeping an eye on things. But triple right over the top of me now. Or coming towards, going over the top of me. So, Royal Dock Grimsby, Lisa Pedersen Rowe. Thank you very much indeed. Cami Hudson, Turkish 777 going to JFK at 34,000 feet is what you're looking at. Thank you very much indeed, Cami. Sherry Hellier, Grimsby Fish Docks. That's Grimsby. Oh no, that's the Turkish. The Turpits I can hear. Mikey van der Aaron, good afternoon to you. Good evening to you. Johan Heino, good evening to you. Neo196, that's spooky. Paul Skilling, saw Brussels Airways A320 back at Heathrow earlier. Wow. Andy C, boat team of boat boats, Bull and Sand Forts 2. Lisa Pedersen, Bull and Sand Forts 2. Yeah, of course. Big sandy bank area, Bull and Sand Forts. Ah, I'm wondering if that's what Lisa is talking about. Is that one of them there? Is that one of the forts there? Is that a fort there? I think that's one of the forts there, isn't it? Possibly. That's not good. Okay. Right. Oh yeah, but that may be the first session that finished at 3. That may have been the first. Wade Perry. Ah, Wade Perry. Good night all from Perth, Australia. Wow, must be very late there. Well, that was a Boeing 777 cargo, Paul Hodgson saying. Vince G. So we do have an email from Tommy, basically. Well, look, I got this from Mike. Donna Nook, also known as Danger Area D307, is active from 4:30 until half past midnight, all week, apart from Friday. Okay. Oh well, Tommy, thanks for the update, but we'll hopefully you're wrong. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty legit problem, isn't it? Rav H, yes, target practice. Indeed, that's just what it is, target practice for the bomb range that we see here. I think, if I'm right in saying that that is the inner and outer marker. Well, that's the target area. The main target area is from that point there across to that point there. And that's the outer marker for the start of the run, and this is possibly the start of the run from or the outer markers. I'm not sure exactly. The what? Hawk call sign. Philip Thorley saying Hawk call sign Savage to the north, as well as Cobham F20's call sign Warthog. Wow, wouldn't that be great if it was a Warthog? As in the A10 tank bomber, innit? A gold Dalek. Who did you take a little deck chair with you? Deck chair. I've got a chair in the van, but because of all the garbage all the stuff that I have to take with me, obviously I don't. I'm not able to carry a chair. If there was somebody here, then I could run back to. But to be honest with you, I don't mind. Rat H, hope your van doesn't have a target on it. Big old flipping like red dot on it. Bullies special prize. Yes. You could do that, HGC. You could do. I saw an EasyJet yesterday, and was so pleased. Debbie Speller saying, John Carley, Les Tankard, RAB H. The aircraft has disappeared off radar. John Carley saying, no, the van is not orange and white. Got some white on it. I hope they are big booming bombs, as in boom, boom, boom. I've written a poem, sir. Go on then, Baldrick. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Don't tell me. Boom, boom, boom. A-10 tank busters would use RAF Cowden bombing range near me in the 80s. Wow, Lisa's saying. Knows her stuff, Lisa, doesn't she, eh? Okay, so we should... X marks the spot. Daniel, the only problem is that to break everything down takes 5 minutes, and then that is, I reckon that's a 10-minute walk up there, to be honest with you. Maybe that. Okay. Is he inbound then, is he? Okay. Bulldog, Merlin just passing Bryce. Okay. Ghost Wave. It's a bombing range, Ghost Wave. This is the... first aircraft at Donna for the day. Oh, okay. Okay, so Mike is telling us that the first aircraft should be a Shadow R1. So let's just have a look here. Like 1927. Let's just see. There's a few people here, but some people obviously. Oh yeah, it is a helicopter. Afternoon. Yeah, and it's a big old helicopter as well. I think that's what it is. It's a big lump, isn't it? Augusta Westland AW101, medium lift helicopter, military and civil applications. I think that's what we're talking about. Is that what we're talking about, the Merlin? Yes, it is. That's a big lump, the Merlin, isn't it? But that would surely be, that's obviously not going to be dropping bombs. That's going to be troop, that's going to be troop carrying in it, or something like that, or I don't know. support, ground support, something like that. Wonder if they're anything to do with it in terms of those small boats out there, because they're towing something, aren't they? Both of them towing something. So whether that's got anything to do with it, and that signifies that. I mean, if the exercises weren't on, the flag wouldn't be up, would it? They would have taken the flag down. You would have thought. And I did go and I did sort of like go via the little station which used to be, I think, the entrance to Donna Nook, the air station, the airfield. I'll have a door gun, will it? Hey, fantastic, man. Okay, from 1927, RAF Donna Nook was initially used as a bombing range and relief landing ground for squadrons at the armament practice camp at RAF North Coast. The bombing range included 7 miles of foreshore south of Donna Nook Beacon and out to sea to a range of 8,000 yards. Wow, that's pretty significant, isn't it? But what's interesting, folks, is if you remember, there is even in the actual Dam Busters film, there is footage, real footage, of them testing the initial tests of the bomb, of upkeep as they called it, and that was on a beach. I think that was in Kent somewhere. I don't think it was up this way. I think it was actually in Kent somewhere. So let's Bomber County Aviation Resource. There is an airfield. There was an airfield code. Approximately 10 miles from the market town of Louth is RAF Donna Nook. Through the village of North Somercotes, the country roads take you, and it is lovely old country roads, take you out to the coastal bombing range. Although through the months of October, December, the range is overcome by hundreds of breeding grey seals and becomes popular with the public. Wow. The bombing range, through the noise, has acted as protection since the colony first got established in the 70s. Supervision is now in place during their winter months, as the range can be crowded by hundreds of visitors viewing the breeding seals. Probably won't happen this winter, I wouldn't have thought. From 1927, RAF Donna Nook was initially used as a bombing range and relief landing ground for squadrons at the armament practice camp at RAF North Coast. The bombing range included 7 miles, 8,000 yards, practice bombing was conducted from altitudes of up to 14,000 feet. Wow. So that will be proper bombers. There were 5 quadrant towers along the shoreline, used to record the fall of shot and bombing scores for instant relay back to the RAF North Coast fitties for the returning aircraft. Okay, so those towers obviously now been taken down or whatever it might be, but it is beautiful out here, I've got to say. The only wildlife I'm seeing at the moment is crows, and of course hearing the skylarks. By the spring of 1940, and with the increase of German air attacks on Britain, a number of decoy airfield sites were established in an attempt to draw enemy aircraft away from operational bases. Donna Nook became one of the many decoy sites, and a number of wood and fabric dummy aircraft, Bristol Blenheims, were erected at strategic points around the base. This tactic was extremely useful, as Donna Nook was attacked on at least one occasion. Overcrowding at nearby RAF Norcoats, that's the one I was talking about that was close by, led to the site being transferred to RAF Coastal Command to provide an overspill runway. The RAF Donna Nook subsequently became home to number 206 Squadron from August 41 to July 42. From 42, Donna Nook returned to being used as a relief or emergency landing ground, as there were less enemy air attacks in the area. In 45, the range was closed as a satellite of North Coats, and the 3 155-acre site is used for agricultural purposes. Although around in the late 1940s, it was reopened by NATO to be used as a bombing range and is still in regular use today. And as you can, as I mentioned, a few buildings do still exist. Some of the outbuildings, which is kind of spooky if you ever go to any of these old RAF stations where there's small buildings left. Some are just literally completely run down, but spooky all the same. August 41, number 206 Squadron operating the Lockheed Hudson. Number 61 Maintenance Unit, RAF, the maintenance unit left Donna in December 47. Now a lot of these maintenance units, I remember reading so many of the books after the war, these maintenance units that were obviously utilised during the war for repairing aircraft if they couldn't be repaired at station, or if they could be flown to any of these many MUs as they were titled. But I remember reading that the some of the piles of aircraft, when you think, it's terrible to think. Literally all the Lancaster bombers, all the Halifaxes, all the Stirlings, every single bomber aircraft after the war that was decommissioned, that wasn't used anymore. Obviously they used the Lancaster. They continued to use the Lancaster as the Lancastrian. It became the passenger variant of the Lancaster. But very few of them flew, and but the majority of all of these aircraft, especially the Halifaxes, were just scrapped, literally chopped in half. They had a huge guillotine which would literally slice these aircraft up into small sections, and the piles at these MUs were mountainous. You know, we're talking about 40 feet high in some places. You know, and of course all of that had to go back into making pots and pans and iron railings that were basically all taken down and decommissioned and given by the people to make the planes in the first place, because you had all the copper, all the brass, the aluminium, the steel, especially from the ships that were decommissioned. Not so much steel on board an aircraft, of course, but small little components obviously were. But yeah, what a sad sight that must have been. Well, not to anyone, I wouldn't have thought, but to us now anyway. Is that some kind of an oil? I think that's a refinery, one of those. Or is that just a? Might be a grain ship or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, those guys aren't. Lifeboats, not lifeboats, are they? Oh, right, that's a car. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? There we go. Andy C. It would be good to get some footage of the Sentinel R1. The Sentinel was actually active this morning. Didn't you say that was active, Jilly? The Sentinel? Isn't the Sentinel is it still? Yeah. Okay. I think so. so. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, it is. It is. It's the Raytheon, isn't it? It's the Raytheon. It's that one with all the massive amount of radar equipment on it. Bombardier Global Express, basically. It's yeah. So Andy, yes, hopefully we will get that, as it's an exclusive one for me to get photos of Andy C. Hopefully we will, my friend. Pablo, good afternoon to you. Paul Skilling, Azerbaijan. Okay. Shipaz, 1990, Big Ship TV. Oh, Sam Chipperfield, is it? Okay, Sam, good afternoon to you. Steve from the UK, boats are Wingcat 32 and Njord Curlew high-speed craft. Oh, okay. Those two, blimey, how does he know that? It must be like, is there a sea radar as well as flight radar? Lance Bostock, good afternoon to you. Thunderbolt Dragon. No, Jerry, offshore personnel carriers. Okay, I'm missing out on some comments here. Laura Ribbons, good afternoon to you. Certain day you want to James O'Brien, John Carley. Just over Banbury now. What's just over Banbury? Okay, so wow, that would be great, man. If it's just sort of like I love a helicopter, man. I think we all do, especially the bigger the better. You know, big thumping, great noise. It's a big one, isn't it? ZZ416 is doing circuits at RAF Waddington now. Dan Waterman, I think that's the Raytheon that we're talking about there. Philip Thorley, only military jets showing on radar. Beach 200 Shadow and Merlin Jingley. Vinnie Jones, good afternoon. Hey, Vinnie, how you doing? Kieran Knowles, that ship that just went past is coming up as special vessel, and I mean that most sincerely, folks. I'm not sure what that means. Ship finder. Oh, ship finder. I wonder if that's the same boys as. Wow, that's an interesting looking vessel, though, isn't it? Really? Where's he been then? So you don't get the Doppler effect with a boat, do you? Because it's going too slow. He's just put some Charchi things up. Look, big Trace TV with Charchi. It's funny that the emoji with Charchi is exactly as he looks when I'm going. I'm like, see it end, he sits on the bottom step. That's exactly where I took that picture from. And he's looking up at me. That's exactly his tail sticking out of that. Ian McDermott, do both RAF and USAF use the range? Well, I think it's predominantly the Army and the RAF, but one would hope that the USAF also use it. Architect, loving the views. Karen Corcoran, good afternoon to you. Paul Skilling. Karina Andrea, good afternoon to you. Steve Bradbury. Thunderbolt Dragon. Marine traffic is F-24 for ships and boats. Marine traffic. Okay, there we go. Has that gone through the shot? Wow. So he's going up the Humber estuary, isn't he? Jesse John. Jingley, is the aircraft going to use the range but arming and fueling at Coningsby? Okay. She's arming and fueling at Coningsby. Does that give me time to move then? And Jingley's the Merlin, yeah? Oh, Jamie Rees saying, yes, the F-15s from Lakenheath also use it. Wow. You reckon it's going to be what? Well, it's up to you. If you want to give it a go, I mean, I personally think that that down there is a better spot. It looks like I'm a little bit sort of closer to the action. I'll probably get down there. It'll be exactly the same view that I've got here, but I don't know. I'd like to give it a try. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Do you want to do that then? Okay, we're going to go with the intermission music, folks. You can go off and make a cup of tea, and do whatever you need to do. Are you ready, Julie? Okay, see you in a bit, folks. Okay, Miles High, Jazzy John. What is a mini roll? Well, I kind of think that probably actually it explains itself, doesn't it? Mini roll. Well, I mean, look, you could classify it as a trick, couldn't you? You know, a skateboard trick, a mini roll. But if it's got Cadbury's written in front of it, then you know it's a Cadbury's mini roll. But they are very Moorish, it has to be said, and I am very sorry, but I do like my mini rolls. The jam ones, that is. Martin Akerman. Indeed, a lot of sad news. A lot of sad news, bit of positive news, all sorts of sort of like things coming out of the aviation industry over the weeks and months to come. I guess the thing to do is try to think of it positively in terms of the fact that those folks who've been made redundant will, as the aviation industry picks up again, get their jobs back, either with the same airline or with another airline. Of course, as things pick up, the airlines are going to need to recruit more staff. Let's look at it that way. Okay, here we go. Operation Mini Roll. About 7 minutes that took me to walk that up there, folks. 20 minutes of you lot chatting away to each other. I tell you what I'm going to do here. Let's put that over there a little bit so that I don't get it in the way. Now, behind me is some kind of a control tower. But I'm not gonna show it because I think it's only respectful to not show it. However, I'm sure if you look on your Google Earth or your whatever, so if you go into, I'm looking on Plane Find, on Google Earth at the moment, folks. You just type in RAF, Donna, DONNA, and Nook, N, November, 0, OK, Oscar, Kilo. Donna, Nook. It'll take you to, there are actually two, there's Donna Nook and RAF Donna Nook, but there's two locations basically on flight radar. Sorry, on Google Earth, but you'll see that there's a helicopter pad. That's the place that you need to, in terms of where I'm standing. There's a helipad there. Now that particular point there, if you look to the left, you'll see a small building with some car parking spots in there. That is the sort of like visitors centre that you can visit, and nobody goes past. None shall pass. Basically, we are the knights that say nee. So you can't get past that point. You basically have to double back on yourself, and you can see where it says Donna. There's a sort of like, you know, a little paddock there. And funny enough, let me send you that picture, Jilly, of those horses. There's a paddock there, and there's some horses there, and there's two big horses, like big horses, proper horses, with a little mini one. one of those little miniature horses. Anyway, you had to be there. But basically, you basically double back on yourself, and you'll see that there is a Donna Nook grey seal colony. There is actually, it's a wildlife sanctuary here, folks, and there is a grey seal colony, which obviously keeps coming back every year, which is brilliant, which is great to see. And of course, all these flats here harbouring some amazing wildlife, I would imagine, but probably more so. I mean, obviously they're used to the active bombing range here, but behind the dunes over here is where I would imagine most of the wildlife is, and the sanctuary itself is situated. Is that a big giant, one of those big giant ship tugs there? Is it, or is that a fishing vessel? Is that a giant tug? You know, you see the tugs, but they're not normally out this far, are they? Pilot ship, maybe a pilot, not pirate, not pilot. Maybe a pilot ship, because some of these larger vessels, they need a pilot to steer them into the docks, basically. So maybe one of the pilots, but that's one of those buildings, isn't it? It's going to be really difficult to track these aircraft, but we're obviously going to. Oh, is that a container ship there? Oh, that's that one earlier on, wasn't it? But that's one of those big that's one of those big. No, that's a ship as well. That looks like a lot of these ships are obviously moored offshore until they're given the clearance. But as you can see, folks, I'm a lot closer now to the bombing range itself. You can see that that appears to be now what I'm thinking of as the possibly the outer marker. But obviously there's they've got that black and white stuff there for photography, I'd imagine, as well, to check accuracy. But you can see how far the tide comes up here, I'm not sure, but there is a water line there, and I'd imagine, just gauging from the fact that those buoys, or whatever they are actually on stilts, I would imagine that the tide probably comes all the way up here. I don't really know, but anyway, hopefully. What are we doing? Where's that Merlin? So just are you folks on there? Are you on Google Earth, so that I can just explain where I'm at? Let me ask you folks. Are you on Google Earth? Is anyone actually following me on there, or is anybody actually listening to what I'm saying? Uncle Albert, that ship's the target. Amazon might send you some. Okay. High contrast for optical targeting. There we go. Oh, okay. So that is that maybe for something with the instrumentation on board the aircraft to indicate the target point or target area, whatever it might be. We're actually quite close, to be honest with you. I'm actually not far away from that little setup there. It's probably 400 yards away from me, if that, something like that. I'm just gauging it on my Golf. I'd say 350, 400 yards from me. So hopefully we're going to see some cat sand being some craters. Let's see some explosions. Yes, Debbie. Yes, there we are. Barry Mansell, he's with me. Okay, well, I'll just take Barry with me. But basically, if you look on Google Earth, so you're at the Donna Nook grey seal colony. So basically, go out onto the track that you can see running along the beachfront there. There's obviously a whiter track. That's the footpath, and then there is a track which is used for the vehicles here. But basically, if you walk all the way along now, up to where the white track, the footpath ends, you will see where that helicopter pad is. I've basically walked all the way back up here, but without using the road. I've walked along the thing. But you'll see, if you look, you'll see the checkered roof of the control tower. And that is basically the control tower right there, folks. So that's, this has to be the best place to be, I'd imagine, in terms of where I'm standing right now. Ship is the Trent Fisher, an offshore supply vessel. There we go. Wow, these guys, this is obviously a Ship Radar 24 or something like Ship Finder, wasn't it? Massive offshore wind farm, as you can see there, folks. Look at that. And there is a wind farm. That might actually, because let me just see where I am in terms of my, yeah, I'm way up there, aren't I? There is a wind farm somewhere off the Norwich coast, or the south, or maybe Southend, Gillingham, that sort of area, where the lights on top of those wind farm towers, those turbines there, it's quite amazing. It's quite eerie when you're flying in from somewhere at night and you see these lights flashing, because you know, you would expect lights on something as vast an area as that to be slightly out of sync. You know, when you see the road lights, obviously they're not synced, but you know, when you think of the distance from far left there to far right, and you think the fact that the left light and the right light, far left and far right light, will blink at the same time, that's quite impressive. And now look, that's an interesting bird here. Look, what's that? That looks like a it's a budgie. No, it's no. You know what that is? No. It's a nightingale. It's a skylark. That is a skylark. That is a skylark, which you very rarely see. I have to say, yeah. And of course you can hear them. Beautiful. And these are swifts. I think there's some swifts. But the sound of the skylark normally fly very high above us. Of course, always beautiful. Gaz Grill, Carol Smith. I looked up, there is a lot of nothingness up there. Dora Gerber saying. Oh, Thunderbolt Dragon, a Buick Skylark. Is that a Buick Skylark? Richard Wharton, there's a wind farm off the coast of Skegness. Well, surely that's it, isn't it? They fly so high. Isn't that it? Just trying to be a little bit quiet, because I don't want to sort of like, whilst we've got the opportunity to listen to the skylark. Skylarking. There's another, or is this the one he's talking about? It's Hull, isn't it? We're in Hull. Skegness. Is it anywhere near Rotterdam? Cessna Skylark. Less tankard. So do I, mate. It should be. It's a public parking area. It's for the wildlife, I'd imagine. You can see that skylark's just skylarking. Bobby Fitzsimmons. Rolls Royce or GE night. Nigel Warren going over to Manchester after. No. Oh well, actually, you know what? You say that, I laugh at it, but I am going over. I'm staying overnight up here, on my key worker credentials at a Holiday Inn up this way, and then tomorrow morning we're going to be going down to Manchester to film the next 747 going out of Manchester. Gareth, if you're watching, by the way, thanks for calling. I will look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. That's a great contact, folks. Very excited about that. Can't say what that is at the moment, but might be able to bring you something very, very exclusive here on Big Jet TV. Shows how hard we work, or how hard we work, just to bring you as much as we possibly can. Always pushing the limits, man. You've got to push the limits, you know, and you've got to literally be up to catch the early worm, you know. There's a lot of people who think they've got what it... Oh, the Osprey is up, the XV-22 Osprey. Wow. I wish I could run up to that bloke there in the tower there and ask him what's coming, because I'm not gonna point the camera at the tower. I want to point the camera at the tower, but I can't. I wonder if he would let me, but I can't go over there because I can't leave my equipment. If I did it from a distance, let's do it from a distance. Let's do it from a distance. Here we go. Look, there we go. That's it there, folks. That's the control tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there we go. 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, up 2. But there we go. TCC, Keith Cornell. Barry Quigland is this big bird TV. At the moment, it's Big Beach TV, isn't it? Aer Lingus A330. Aer Lingus A330 over me. What? Wow, really? Is that him there? Is that an Aer Lingus A? Is it? Oh, that'll be PPE then. But wow, when's the last time we saw... Oh, I can hear something coming. What's that? What are you talking about? Mark Whitehouse, evening all. Has Jerry gone on his holidays tonight? As I've just switched on enjoying a large gin and tonic. Lucky you, mate. Lucky you. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm on a patch of ground which I'm perhaps not supposed to be on. Whereas all these folks here are on the path, but there are breaks in the fence where you can clearly walk through. Let me just show you. That's the pathway. That's the pathway along there that we've seen on the map. But as you can see, there are breaks in the fence there with little walkways that. So I'm pretty sure that they're basically warning you, aren't they? They're warning you that, you know, you just got to be a bit, but you know, keep your wits about you. Don't go wandering down there in your Speedos. Bobby Fitzsimmons, Aer Lingus daily flight Dublin to Beijing. Daily flight as in surely not passenger, surely not pax. Surely that's got to be part PPE, or can't be, can it? Wow. Hey, there's that effect that you get with the... Okay. It's that shimmering effect you get when you see boats on the horizon look like they're floating, isn't it? Look, it looks like floating in the air. Stephen Owens, yeah, everything around. Well, I think just this whole patch here is MOD land. Yes, I would have been moved on by now, because that is basically the MOD station there. He's got his binoculars out and everything, so you know, it definitely would have been. But you're allowed to walk here. There's people's footprints here and everything, and so I think that it's an area of ground which is they're basically warning you with the red flag and all that anyway. So we'll see. Looks like a car carrier. Yeah, you know what? I think that was does look like a car transporter, doesn't it? Oh, St. Petersburg roll-on. St. Petersburg. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I like that. Now that's one of those. Is that one of those observatory ships there? Look, or is that just no? Oh yeah. It's got a helipad on it, look. It's got a helipad on it, look. That's sort of like a survey ship or something like that, isn't it? And you see, that looks like the roll-on, roll-off new car transporter ships. It won't be very full of cars at the moment, I wouldn't have thought. Are you camping on the beach tonight? Mirage. Leslie Engraver, yes. Leslie Pike, sorry. Don't tell him your name. Looks like a gunnery range, M14 guy. Yeah, it does. It's actually a bombing range. You're not far off there, M14. Good to see you here, by the way. Haven't seen you in the chat for a while. Glad you. Hope you're well. And of course, DFW is one of our targeted American visits. As and when we can, of course. Jazzy John, now living on a Great Lake, Jerry. I do miss the smell of the sea breeze. Well, I'll tell you what, there isn't much of a smell of a sea breeze. It's a chilly breeze, I've got to be honest with you. It's a good combination of the sun and the breeze, you know. I'm thankful of the breeze, I have to be honest with you. I'd rather there be this breeze, you know. But it is quite nippy, I have to say. Steve from the UK, City of St. Petersburg, roll-on, roll-off ferry from Denmark. So there we go. That is a roll-on, roll-off ferry. Audis, BMWs and VWs all come into Grimsby. Wow. Lisa Pedersen Rowe knows her stuff, doesn't she? Either that, she's massively quick on Google. But Kirk Edwards, don't tell him your name, Pike. M14 guy, oil platform service ship. You see, you guys, eh? You know your stuff. Come on, planes. Simon Harding, good afternoon to you. I'm 10 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean, Mars High saying, wow. 10 minutes. Not many people can say that, is it? 10 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean. Wow. There's another one which looks pretty slick. Or sleek, should I say that? That looks like that's a container ship in it. That's definitely a container ship. That one there, definitely. So yeah, indeed, we will tomorrow be at Manchester, folks, bringing you the, I think it's the penultimate 747 Virgin Atlantic, and then the final one. We'll have to keep you posted on it, basically. Kaz Rapper saying there are quite a few survey ships that run out of Hull. Yes, indeed. Oil tanker support vessel, I think it's just said. Lynn Keeble, Mike Day. Okay. Neil Mayers. Okay. Good afternoon, Anthony Barry. Thanks for this bonus show. That's what it's all about, Anthony. Giving you guys as it stands at the moment, obviously, I'm unable to travel outside of the UK. As soon as I do, trust me, we'll be on our way over to Europe. Even the first show, such as Toulouse. Sure, we all miss a little bit of Toulouse, don't we? There's still 5 of them at Manchester. Are there? Oh, okay. Oh well, I thought we've seen 2 go. I don't know, I'm a bit confused. But I mean, I must say, last time we went up there, I did definitely see more than 2 tails there. I'm sure there was at least 4. Don't know if they're parked very close to each other or what, but Stephen Warner, not really Stephen, to be honest with you, or Stefan. I've moved about 600 yards from my current position, where I was from my previous position. But apart from that, we're basically on the beach down here at Donna Nook. It's somewhere that, to be perfectly honest with you, forgive my ignorance, but I had never heard of before. It's a bombing range used by the RAF and apparently also used by the US Air Force from RAF Lakenheath, as you can see. This is the main target area. So I'd imagine that they want to try and hit those as close to them as possible, I'd imagine. It's quite a small target area, I have to be honest with you, but especially when you're flying at high speed. But that I can only put down to some kind of photographic with the black and whites, you know, like they like used on those crash planes that you see videos of from when they crashed that 707. Anything inbound, come along now. Let's be having your son. Really? Out of Mildenhall? Okay, well, I'm not seeing him. He's probably out of Mildenhall. Wow. Oh, that's why he's not trailing, so that's why I can't see him. And yeah, that's not going to be an easy one to see. So I see that Serpent 46 350 CER. She's doing circuits basically at the moment over near King's Lynn. Who is? Is it the one out at sea? Oh no, okay. Just taken off from Coningsby. Right, okay. Andy Gibson, you can't walk there when the seals are in town. No, Andy, absolutely. I think it's off limits, but thousands of people do stand up on these banks. I think there is obviously a limit to how far down the beach you can go, and I wouldn't want to really go any further than what I am at the moment. But this could be quite exciting if this guy hangs around for sort of like 15-20 minutes. Michael Sam, yeah, we've got that. Thank you, my friend. Andy Gibson, Ross Kennedy watching. Renier Corporal. Michael Sam, the Merlin is back up out of Coningsby. Yep, we have got that. That shouldn't take him long to get here, should it? Okay, Dave Bridges, 120063 CV22. Is that the V22 Ospreys that he's talking about? Yeah, beautiful, like very strange looking. I mean, the props are, you know, huge, so huge that they cannot taxi with them in the vertical. They have to they actually taxi with them at an angle, which is kind of crazy. Oh, Jeff White. Yes, we did mention Wayne Fleet. I think we mentioned Wayne, but mind you, hold on. We did mention Wayne Fleet, I think. He says he did many comms jobs, but it's now closed and the tower is now self-catering holiday gaff. Well, Miles High would love to see a Vulcan bombing run. Yeah, wouldn't we all? Laura, welcome back, Laura. Julie Cheston. Johnny G, good evening to you. Yeah, let me just have a look, because I think it was off the Kent coast where they did the upkeep. There's a testing range down in Kent. Oh yeah, it's not if you Ashley Walk. Oh, okay. So bouncing bomb tests at Ashley Walk, New Forest. Well, that's the Ashley Walk in the New Forest is where I was talking about earlier on. But they did one. They had been tested in Watford. Had been tested in Watford. Watford, obviously. Can't be Watford. I know they were tested in Teddington at the National Physics Laboratory where Barnes Wallis lived in Teddington. I lived there, and that testing tank is still there, believe it or not. Oh, number 3 wall target at Ashley Walk. Oh, okay. So that was the actual one that was used for there were different walls, but this particular wall was used for the bouncing bomb, or upkeep as it was known. Number 3 wall target at Ashley Walk bombing range was very different to other wall targets. It was constructed to test bouncing bombs as designed by Barnes Wallis before 43. The wall was 8'10" and 6 feet thick and 20 feet long. The wall was faced with 2-inch armour plate. Wow. The wall was initially designed for testing the high ball bouncing bomb. 2 of these could be carried and deployed by a single Mosquito aircraft. These bombs technically mines, as it is the increase in water pressure as the mine sinks that sets off the fuse, was designed to be used against large ships. That's interesting. So Barnes-Wallis is basically taken that that particular type of bomb and redeveloped it into a into the bouncing bomb. Interesting. Okay. Now that is a proper. That's an oil tanker, isn't it? That's an oil tanker. Or actually, it may be grain. It may be grain, or it may be, could be anything. Could be rice, Uncle Ben's. Some more there. Container ship. Now, is that a container ship that's got no bleeding containers on it, or hardly any containers? Yeah, but is that as a result of COVID-19? Is the sparseness of containers on that ship as a result of the fact that there's no trade at the moment? I mean, nothing can be going out of the UK, really, can it? But interesting debate that we can. That looks like a coal ship of some sort, grain style ship. But anyway. But when the bouncing bomb, okay. David Beckett, Merlin now near Louth. I will hear this thing coming from a mile away, won't I? There are other people out here on the bank, which is good. Clanking against there. Okay, we could do without that clanking, couldn't we?
Hello there. How are you?
Oh, hello, mate.
I saw your Laken Heath last.
How are you?
I'm alright, thank you very much.
Good.
The burning should be coming in soon, hopefully. The burning.
Yes, indeed. And a couple of ospreys, I'm hearing, apparently.
Is that really?
Hopefully, yeah. We hope.
Cool.
Oh, they've gone to Yeovilton. Oh, okay, never mind.
Right.
Ian McDermott. Knowledge, yes. It is amazing knowledge that we all have. I mean, obviously, quite a few of us are Googlers, which is a good thing. But most definitely, lots of people have amazing knowledge. You just see the... Well, you know what him saying that actually makes me think that I would have said yes. Sea containers would be extremely. Oh yeah, I remember that guy now. Now I remember him. Sorry, man. I remember him now. He was the fella who was at the first Laken Heath we went to. He knows if he's here, he's a regular for these things. So we know that if he's here, he's now. Why is he walking up there? Does he know what? Is it? Here he is. Here it is. Sorry. Please do something exciting and don't just drive past and fly past and. Here we go. Coming in pretty hot. Gear down. It's gear down. Oh, this is cool, man.
routing and it's coming right over it. Oh, but.
That's why he's gone down there, isn't it? Look. That's why that geezer's gone down there, look. Look, he knows where to go, the old boy. Yeah. No, for next time. Isn't it? Isn't it? A gun. Sorry. Please shoot the beach up. Just go past me and just do a big strafe the beach, literally. He is. He's pouring something in there. A bit of washing up liquid. Oh. Charging it up. Quick spray of that. Bish bosh bash. I can't run that fast. Sticker right on the side, right on that window there. It's prime for a sticker, isn't it? Yeah. Well, at least they would have earned a sticker, unlike the postman who keeps nicking them. Hey. Wow, Alan Davids, it's a 7.62 GP MG 200 round box mag. I was just about to say that. We do. I think we do, mate. I think we do. Here he goes. It's got a long barrel on it, that gun, isn't it? No, that can't be it. Well, it's the only thing sticking out the side of the bleeding. Oh, it's this horizontal stabilizer, isn't it? You stupid boy. Oh, don't go. Here they come, here they come. But he's got to do the, he's going the wrong way if he's... Oh, bye then. Gear up, look. Now he's in full attack mode, and he goes left. Like, here we go, here we go, here we go, here he comes now. Here he comes now. Come on, mate, come on, turn round, son, turn round. And go. There he comes. Here we go. There he comes. Cool, got a radio. Foot down, mate. I want to see, like, you know, nose down attitude, like flat out. Or is this an exercise for support? Flipping heck, mate. Why does that keep going out of focus? Like, it's really quite annoying, that. I think this is maybe an exercise to repatriate troops from the beachhead. It's all going on over there, isn't it? All the action. Maybe he's a sprog. I think he might be a sprog pilot. Not exactly throwing it around the sky like a Royal International Air Tattoo or something, is it? There's definitely stuff going on over there, isn't there, eh? Sorry, folks. Sorry about that. Got a hover going on. Seems to be going on down there, though. Gear down. Comes in. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh, flipping heck. Machine gun. Firing machine gun. Enemy fire, should I say. Either that or it was coming from the helicopter. I'm missing all the action. Should have gone down even further. They heard it, did they? Oh, okay, good. Insurgents on the beach! Open fire! So I'm guessing what he's doing is he's giving air support, isn't he? Or to ground troops. He's giving air support to ground troops whilst they are under attack. Well, it's a good job I came up here, isn't it? At least. If I hadn't have done, we would have seen nothing. Will he? What, he'll be doing that for a while? Okay. Yeah, but it's not just like everything has to stop, doesn't it? No. There's quite a lot of stuff that I've got to move. You know, it's not like backpack and a camera and that's it. But if he's doing this for another 20 minutes, then well, yeah, I could be up there in. What it is that's atmospherics in it that's causing that. Was earlier on because he got pelted with sand. Really? Picking them up. The sounds of it. Oh no. So this looks like a long exercise, folks. Should we head up there? Is it worth heading up there, perhaps? Trying to see what this guy up here on the hill is. Surveying the combat zone, I think. shall we? Shall we have a go? Okay. It's literally all I got to do is just move up round that, move up to that point there. So I'm on the apex of that turn, aren't I? So I'd just be able to see it along the beachfront a little bit longer. Was there anything else doing anything? Is there any aircraft? So that. Right, the top of the system. Really struggling. Come on, son. Fast descent. Okay. Yes. Yes. This is more high-speed run, this one. Should we go for it? Should we have a go? Okay. You ready for the music? Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on.